What is going on, everybody? Today, I want to talk about, will the Boston Celtics repeat as NBA champions here this season? Listen, it is hard for me not to give credit where credit is due. As much as, the rivals of my team are the Boston Celtics, I got to give credit, man. The Boston Celtics have been playing unbelievable. Yet again, I mean, they're just surprising me. The way they are able to win games, especially as of late, has been fairly impressive. All right, this is a team that I thought, for a certain amount of time in that late December, early January, I saw some things to be concerned about. You saw the Celtics lose a couple games out west against the Lakers. They got smacked. Then they lost to the Clippers as well. They look like a team that could honestly get beat. There was probably a little bit of an inkling that said, I don't even think this team can get to the finals. But this team has turned it up. And we talk about on this show here about getting hot at the right time. And the Boston Celtics have been doing exactly that, especially as of late. I mean, beating the New York Knicks on Sunday was freaking impressive. The way they did it also. I mean, from beginning to end, they were just laying the beat down. The final score looked close. But if you guys watch that game, I mean, they took advantage from beginning to end, man. What this team is able to do is impressive. And I'm going to get to the numbers in just a sec. But look at where Boston sits right now in the Eastern Conference. Second seed at 41-16. Obviously behind the Cavaliers, who continue to do an awesome job. Definitely going to touch on them in a little bit. The Boston Celtics, you look at their home record, 18-10. That is not too good and not what you expect from a Boston Celtics team playing at the TD Garden with a hell of a crowd over there. I think that definitely turns into, they turn that up leading into the playoffs, but their away record, that's impressive, man. 23-6. And we talk about this all the time, right? In sports in general, when you have a team that's won the championship already, it's like, what do they need to get motivated for? Hey, maybe they get motivated to play on the road. And that's like a little challenge, right? That's common. That's common. So the fact that they're 23-6 on the road, I think that is very, very impressive. And that is a big key come playoff time. I mean, the fact that home court doesn't really matter to you is awesome. All right, another thing that's eye-popping to me, by the way, their opponent's points per game. This team's defense is top-notch, man. They are second in the Eastern Conference behind Orlando with stopping the other team from scoring. 108 points they're surrendering. And we talk about getting hot at the right time. They're currently on a 5-game winning streak. Obviously, you see on the screen, they've won 9 out of their last 10 games. That's impressive. Their point differential is at 9.4, which is another impressive stat, trailing only Cleveland, who's 11.1, which is also impressive. But, man, this Boston Celtics team, man, what I saw them do against the New York Knicks. I mean, you had Drew Holiday even guarding Karl-Anthony Towns, and Karl-Anthony Towns couldn't do anything about it. I mean, the fact that you can have your point guard, and let alone everybody, just defend at a high level, that is a nightmare for opposing teams, man. This Boston Celtics team, what they're able to do offensively, what they're able to do defensively, and from a chemistry standpoint, like they all have bought in. And that is scary to beat a team with good chemistry and that could play both sides of the basketball. Look at the stats here, man. Jason Tatum, obviously the leading man with 26.8 points per game, 8.8 rebounds, 5.7 assists. He's got 1.1 steals. You love to see that. Jason Tatum, I believe, has elevated his game from a defensive standpoint and just being an all-around player, man. I was critical of Tatum, taking too many threes before, taking too many mid-range. I think Jason Tatum has an all-around game that is just awesome and just compliments everybody, man. Jaylen Brown, 22.9 points per game. I like to see that number up, but I think this is a guy, when it comes to the playoffs, he will turn it up. He did it last year. There's no doubt about it. He's also getting over a steal per game, so you like to see that. Kristaps Porzingis, the X factor for this Boston Celtics team, and I think plenty of Celtic fans would agree with that. Currently averaging 19.2 points per game. The Boston Celtic fans and the Celtics, they're pretty much like, yo, Kristaps, if there's something bothering you, take the day off, and we're okay with that. And we'll still win. And they have shown that, man. Their ability to kind of swap Porzingis, have him have a couple days off. If there's any, lingering injury, you sit him down. As long as he's there for the final stretch in April, May, June, and July, or, well, not July, April, May, and June, they'll take that. And I believe that Kristaps Porzingis is the ultimate X factor for this Boston Celtics team to win the championship again if they're going to do so. So Porzingis having a nice, awesome year. I mean, What a freaking piece, man. Like, they really got the best out of Porzingis. Derek White continues to do what he does, but 16.2 points per game is very impressive. He's an all-around player. He can rebound, he can assist. Obviously, 1.1 block. That is awesome to see from a defensive standpoint. Drew Holiday as well, averaging 11 points per game. Al Horford doing a little bit of Al Horford things. You know what you're going to expect from him, but that's a guy. Come playoff time, he has that playoff experience and championship experience. This guy can hit daggers, can hit big shots. You cannot discount Al Horford. But most importantly, guys, who else besides the five and Al Horford? You need to have other people. That was the key for me to see. Who else? Can I rely on Peyton Pritchard? I needed to see a lot more this season. And, man, this guy's delivered. Look at the points per game. I mean, Peyton Pritchard is up to 13.9 points per game, 3.8 rebounds, 3.5 assists. That is tremendous. Peyton Pritchard has been awesome for the Celtics team all year long, and the Celtics needed a nice piece off the bench that can give some scoring input in here, can get a little bit off pressure out of those top five guys, somebody that he can trust. And I think Mazzulla has trusted this guy. Another guy who probably doesn't get as much credit as he deserves from the public eye, but Celtics fans know, Sam Hauser, 7.6 points per game. You look at that, it's like, oh, it's probably not that much. But look at these shooting splits, guys. Look at the 3-point percentage here. Sam Hauser, 40.1%, shooting over 40% from three. That is big time. And then Peyton Pritchard, who I mentioned earlier, over 40% as well, shooting 41.2% from three-point land. So you have two shooters off the bench that are able to knock down threes and are scoring over 2 threes a game. Over 40% clip. That is big time. Listen, I'm not worried at all from the starting five with Drew Holiday, Derek White, Jaylen Brown, Jason Tatum, and Kristaps Porzingis. What those guys are able to do from a chemistry standpoint speaks for itself. Their ability they can all switch 1 through 5. Porzingis can block shots. He can protect his own. And the rest of the guys, they will switch everything. Derek White, great defender. Drew Holiday, Jason Tatum, Jaylen Brown, all guys that are willing defenders as well. These guys want to play both ends of the basketball floor, and they have done that. So what they're able to do from a chemistry standpoint and a defensive standpoint, the offense, but what else are you going to get from the other guys? Al Horford has delivered time and time again in the playoffs, but now you're having those two extra pieces in Peyton Pritchard and Sam Hauser that can shoot the three at over 40%. Damn, man. Boston is freaking scary, man. Also, Joe Mazzulla has had a hell of a year, man. I like the way he's been managing his players. He's got a couple guys sit out, a couple guys play in. I think he's managing the minutes pretty well for this Boston Celtics team. They're peaking at the right time. They know it's go time now. This is when they kind of are going to play their best basketball, and you are seeing that on display. I think the Cleveland Cavaliers obviously are going to be a tough matchup for the Boston Celtics, but I still like the Celtics to win that series. I think they just have too much. I think chemistry matters. Shot making matters, which they've shown, and defense matters. And I love their defense and their chemistry and just that championship DNA that the Celtics have to overcome the Cleveland Cavaliers. As far as the other matchups, I like the Boston Celtics easily, let alone I like the Boston Celtics against anybody in the NBA. If there's one team that I think will give the Celtics trouble, it would be in the NBA Finals, and that's if they take on the Oklahoma City Thunder. The reason why I say that is because Boston plays a similar type of game as the Celtics, man. They have great chemistry. They have guys that could guard 1 through 5. They can switch on everything. They have defenders similar to the Boston Celtics, and they have a head guy that also buys in on both sides of the basketball, and Shai Gilgeous-Alexander. Those defenders, you got Lou Dort, you got Cason Wallace, you got Caruso, you have a stretch big. Just like Porzingis, you got it in OKC with Chet Holmgren. I think that is the biggest matchup problem for the Celtics. But if you have the Celtics going against anybody else, as much as it pains me to say it, I think the Celtics will be back-to-back champions this year. Unless they play the Thunder, it will be tough task. I think that's their biggest problem. But the way things are going now, it will be mighty hard not to pick the Boston Celtics, man. So I got to give credit where credit is due, as much as it pains me. Let me know what you guys think, man. Do you guys think the Boston Celtics repeat this year or not? Let me know in the comments below. Hit the thumbs up button to subscribe to the channel to support the channel and subscribe to the channel. Catch you guys next time.